Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of In My Codes. Today we're going to talk about Git. So what is Git? Well, the actual Google definition for Git is that it's a class of systems responsible for managing changes in computer programs, documents, large websites, or other collection of information. Now, if you're new to tech, just like I was a couple of months ago, I say about a year or two ago, you were thinking, what does that all of that information mean? Well, let me explain it this way. For example, say if you have a project, right, and you have you want to store it in one place, like a file or like a folder, then imagine Git as a place which will allow you to transfer your files over there. And when you're using Git, you also use another thing called GitHub. So in this tutorial, we're going to talk about Git. I'm going to show you what is Git, how to use it. We're going to create like a very small project and we're going to push it up to Git, just so we have an understanding of what Git is and how to do it. So firstly, I'm going to share my screen. And we will go from there. All right, let me enlarge that. So there's your definition of Git. You can just Google that. Well, it's part of what's known as a source control. And if we scroll down here, Git will be numbered there. So to install Git, if you go to DigitalOcean and you follow these steps, how to install. This one is how to install Git on Ubuntu. But if you're using a Mac, then how to install Git on Mac. If you're using Windows, how to install Git on Windows. And it will actually bring up the whole thing for you and you can take it from there. So when you've installed Git, you want to head over to GitHub. It's a website called github.co.uk or github.com. Create your account, make your account on GitHub, put in your email, password, everything else, set that up. I will show you how to do that because obviously that's something you'll just be able to do. And then, of course, once you've set it up, you want to click this plus button on the screen here. And then let me just move this out of the way. Once you click that plus button, you want to click on new repository. And here it will allow you to then create your GitHub. So once again, GitHub is essentially a place where you'll be able to push all your code, all your information as you code along. And especially in large scale, when you get into the workplace, for example, you're doing a big project, it allows you to track your progress. It allows others to also push the repository. So we're going to name this repository. Let's call it first. And it's called Git. You can have a description if you like. When you leave it as public, it just means that if someone else was to stumble upon your GitHub, for example, they'll be able to access or be able to literally clone your project. To make it private, it just means you're the only person that has accessibility to it. You can add a README file. README file essentially is information about your project. You can create and give information, certain information about your project, how to launch it, things like that, how to install it, things like that. You can also add a .git ignore. A .git is essentially when you're creating certain projects, when you run it locally, for example, on your actual machine, certain things are created alongside it, such as, for example, PyCache. If you're using Python, for example, PyCache will be created. These can take up a lot of space in GitHub. So you add that in your git ignore, for example. And so when you're pushing things up to your GitHub, it won't actually be included. And of course, you can also add a license. So we'll go ahead and we'll create our repository. And it will take it to the next page here. So here it will tell you, so you've got your repository and it will give you certain instructions on how to clone it down. So quick step, if you've done it before, then you know what to do. So to actually clone your repository, here we are. This gives you a quick tutorial. But let's just actually access the repository right now and see if you've done this kind of thing. Or HTTP, we'll just copy this thing here. If you copy that, when it gives that to you, and then you open your Git. Let's open our Git actually. So mine is Git bash. And then you find a space which is suitable here. Cool. So yeah. So now that you've got your Git, we're going to clone it. So you want to do Git clone, and then you copy and paste in your project. Once you click enter, it will tell you, warning, you've cloned an empty repository. It says that because we've not actually put anything in there. So if we do ls to list it, we can see our project is there. And if we have to then get into it, so CD for change directory into that, which do ls, there's nothing there. And then now we're going to create some more things. So if we do, we're going to create a folder called hello.txt, and then we're going to write into that. So just do a quick echo, call it, for example, this is Emmanuel, and then we're going to send that into our hello.txt folder, and then we'll know it's there. So if we do ls, we see our hello folder is there, and if we do cat for to look into the hello folder without actually opening the file, you can see this is Emmanuel. Now to send that up your repository, your GitHub repository, what you want to do is first you can do git status to make sure that it's tracking the changes that you've made, and you see it's in red. It tells us that we made some changes, that it's on track. It's not actually physically on the GitHub website. So git, and then this is a command you need, add dot signifies everything in that current directory you're working in. Click enter. If I have let's have look one and color will be replaced by, let's see, status. So right, so git add is added, now it's going to green, and then we have to then commit these changes. You need to leave a message, so use a dash some option to leave a message, and then we can call it first push. We're going to push it up to our repository. Press enter, and then push it up to your repository. You want to do git push -u origin. You need origin there, and then you need to put it as main, and then you press enter. Let me see, yes, the master. Yeah, so it will be git push -u and then master. For some people it might be main, for some people it might be master. So you do master, and then if we refresh here, we can see that we've pushed to here. It's now on the website. We've got our master repository there. Cool. And now if we click here, we can see our activities there. This is important because for the project that I've been talking about in my other videos, which have our link in the bio, we're going to build a project, and so these are the things that we will need. So it's important that you follow along with this one. So that is there. We can also, a cool thing about Git is that you can set things up in branches. So we can check our branches and see what we have. So we have one branch at the moment, which is the Git master branch. You can create other branches by doing git checkout -b and then put a name of the branch, say new branch. Press enter, it will then create that branch. And then if we do get a branch, we can see there's two branches there, a new branch. A branch is essentially these two. So right now we only have one branch because we haven't pushed it up yet. But if I was to say create a new file, which create a new file, we call it new.txt, and we want to send that, we want to create that now a new branch, echo, let's just echo something into that new branch. If we do ls, we can see our new branch has two files in there. It has a hello.txt file, and it also has a new txt file. And so let's just go ahead and push that also, just so I can demonstrate to you that we've got two branches. So we do add everything in the repository, and then git commit to commit everything. So we say new branch, and then also git push -u origin, and then remember we'll do master. Push enter. It might take a couple of seconds, and then everything should everything is up to date. So if we refresh that, we can see that branches, let's have a look, view all branches. Seems like it hasn't worked. That's interesting. My bad. Of course. So when you're pushing it up, you need to put the name of the branch that you're using. So of course, so git branch. This is why it's important that you follow along to this. So our branch is called new branch. So when we're pushing up, we need to call it, we need to push it up to that new branch. And then if we do that, now it should go up to and create a new branch, because we actually push it to master, but we couldn't actually push it to master because we hadn't committed anything to master. And you can see new branch has been pushed, has new pushes less than a minute ago. So if we refresh, we can see this branch, our master branch has only one file, hello txt, and then our new one has 2 files, which is a new txt. Now the great thing about Git is the reason why we can have multiple branches is when you're working within a business, you would need to have a production server and a staging server, and the staging server is an exact replica of the production server. The only difference really is that any changes that you make, you want to make it to the staging server first and make sure it works. And if it works, then you can push it up to the production server. The production server is where your customers will be looking at. So it's essential that you don't push everything straight to your production server, that you allow it to test itself and then go into in between. But once you're happy, you can merge the two together, and that's what you can do, compare and pull request. And so what we want to do, we want to merge our new branch into our master branch. We essentially want to add it all together. And you can see the changes there. If you look at this, some of these options, yeah, we don't worry about that at the moment. We'll do create pull request. It will check that we can do that automatically. Sometimes it won't allow you to do automatically because GitHub is quite smart. Sometimes if there's conflicting changes, you may have to go in manually, make those changes, which can be a bit of a headache. But I guess from safety perspective, it's actually better that way. So you can go ahead and you can merge pull request, and you can confirm change. Once you've confirmed change, it then gives you the option to delete that branch. As long as it's not a staging server and it's just a normal branch you're just merging into, you can go ahead and you can just delete that branch. And if we go back to our main code, we can see our master branch now has 2 files in there. So the three key things you want to remember from this particular video is that you need GitHub to where you basically push all your repository stuff to. You push all your code and files to. You need Git, which actually allows you to make those changes and push them up. And then finally, the third thing I think you should remember is the fact that you can have multiple branches, which is really important. It's something that you should really remember. It's very useful, especially for large scale production. Having multiple branches allows you to work on certain features. And once you're comfortable that it works and you've done all the necessary tests, you can push it. Once again, my name is Emmanuel. This is Eman Codes. Hope you've enjoyed and you've learned something. Like and subscribe, comment anything that you've learned, anything that you want to teach. And yeah, hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for your time. Bye.